Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Space. So guys, in today's video, of course, we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action, and of course, a couple of interesting metrics and news, so on and so forth. So guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not a financial advice. Now, firstly, let's cover a couple of different news that are bullish, I believe. So we've got 1.4 trillion Franklin Templeton that just failed to launch a crypto index ETF that will initially hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, well, in my opinion, other crypto in the future, probably once we are going to have these approvals and applications, so on and so forth. But that is obviously bullish news that is showing that adoption is happening. On the top of that, we've got Dubai that approves crypto salary payments. That obviously is great. So people can get paid in BTC. And now guys, Kaspa news. Apparently, Kaspa is well positioned to become a pivotal cornerstone for industries like clean energy and related carbon emission reduction markets. That shows that Kaspa is going to have another use case in the future. So guys, things are looking good long term. Now we've got this, right? Of course, we cannot have, positive news without negative ones, right? So WHO orders governments to prepare for mega lockdowns due to deadly monkeypox strain, blah, blah, blah. So Donald Trump recently released a video on his account, I believe. He was saying that, this is another manipulation, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm not here to judge, right? I'm just saying that this potentially could, in the future, at the moment, we don't have any signs, but this potentially could, drive the market towards the downside, just like it did with C19. But you guys remember what happened with C19 when we dropped for BTC so significantly last time, and then we saw huge spikes towards the upside. But at the moment, of course, it's not happening. I'm just saying that it might, and if it will, of course, it's going to put the markets towards the downside. Anyways, guys, let's have a look at the dashboard itself. So the current reward is sitting at 92. Next one is going to be 87. Next reduction is scheduled in 18 days. We are sitting at 85.2% mined. Hash rate is sitting at 812 petahash per second. All-time highs are sitting at 847 petahash per second. So we are sitting at number 21 in terms of ranking. The market cap is sitting at 4.1 billion USD. Now, finally, let's have a look at Kaspa's chart, right? So that is a 4-hourly time frame, ladies and gents. And what is going on? We are still in that upward move for Kaspa, and we are being perfectly supported at the moment, right? So we got the bounce towards the downside. We saw 16 cents, well, lower levels of 16 cents as of 16th of August, which was yesterday, and we saw a juicy bounce towards the upside. All right, and now guys, we got a couple of candles that were red, actually just 2 red candles after that, and now looks like we've got momentum towards the upside on a 4-hourly time frame. However, stochastic RSI is showing us that sooner or later this move could be rejected, and what we could experience is probably something like this, and then probably another retest, right? So this is what is happening in my eyes for the next, let's say, couple of hours, right, at the time of recording this video, of course. However, looking at the daily time frame, guys, daily is basically showing similar price action too, right, because it's going towards the downside, and we still do have some room towards the upside, okay, towards that ceiling, right? But now let's have a look at the weekly time frame, guys. So from the standpoint of the weekly time frame, as I was mentioning, yes, things are maybe not necessarily that juicy. However, if we are going to dip, let's say, to this mid-range, well, I will call it a mid-range. Well, unfortunately, we've got one proper confirmation in here, but it could become our mid-range over here if it comes to stochastic RSI, and potentially could we bounce from here or see another down move, right? That is the question. Now, let's have a look at the chart itself for our beloved Kaspa, right? So let me just move it a little bit. And what is happening at the moment, all right? We've got 1 day and 14 hours until this weekly candle is going to get closed, and it is green. The momentum is stable, at least at the time of recording this video, on the market, and I do believe that it's going to, close green. But heck, let's see what's going to happen in the next 24 hours, and then we are going to reevaluate the charts. Now, looking at ETF inflows for BTC, we've got $11.1 million as of 15th of August, and we've got 35.9 million USD. So a little bit of more positivity. Looking at the liquidity, all right, for BTC, we can expect BTC trading, let's say, sideways in the next 24 hours. However, a very interesting thing is that if I'm going to switch it to 3 daily time frame, we can clearly see that liquidity is sitting above the current trading price. So we could see BTC trading well above 60k in the next 3 days. So sooner or later, I believe we are going to, regain that momentum towards the upside. And also another very interesting thing is that once I'm going to switch it to, let's say, 3 monthly heat map, we can clearly see where the liquidity is, right? So in my personal humble opinion, the price is going to go towards the liquidity, right? So everything that is happening at the moment, with the dump and, Japan recent crash, stuff like that, is just temporary noise in my opinion. But anyways, let's check this beautiful chart, and shout out to Mr. Titan. And that is a weekly chart, by the way. So he's saying that 1 week later and Bitcoin is still holding the line. BTC hasn't closed a candle below the red line. And how interesting it is, guys. So things are good, all right, because we are being supported by this strong level of support that leads us back to these dumps that we saw bounce from in the previous cycle. All right, so that's interesting. And now shout out to Mr. Prof, and that is a monthly chart for BTC. Imagine BTC at the same moment as it was back in 2016. Buy signal on the monthly chart, month-long consolidations afterwards are not uncommon. But what comes after that? He doesn't care what the bears predict. Many of them are still waiting for 12k Bitcoin. Guys, let's have a look at this chart because that's interesting. Many people are thinking that we could see 12k for BTC. Well, let's see from the perspective of 2015, 2016, all right? So we had a deviation, right? Just like we saw in here, right? We had that dump, right? Which is obviously the bear cycle. The first proper leg up outside of that accumulation, and then we had this, right? There was a pullback in here in that blue circle, right? So now we've got the bear cycle, right? In this, well, current cycle, the first proper leg up outside of that, retest as a support, another leg up for BTC, and now this is where we are trading at the moment, right? So if the history is going to rhyme and repeat, soon we could see spike towards the upside. And now let's have a look at this beautiful chart. So Mr. Max is saying that Bitcoin has been trading within a wedge pattern for the past few months. The price has consistently found support at the lower trend line and faced rejection at the upper resistance line. Recently, we saw a retest of the lower support zone, and now the price is consolidating in the middle of the wedge. The next likely move could be toward the upper resistance line, especially since the RSI still has room to climb. Guys, so yes, first of all, if it comes to RSI, we still have a lot of time to climb, all right? And could we see that thing going like a magnet towards the upside? And also that would coincide with the liquidity that I've just shown you, all right? So, well, things are basically programmed. That's a great question. And now shout out to Mickey Bull Crypto, and this is Bitcoin on a weekly chart. He's saying that you should get ready for an incoming face-melting parabolic rally in Q4. History has indeed prevailed. Guys, let's have a look, all right? So what is this guy talking about? He's basically highlighting for how long we've been consolidating, all right? So in 2016, we're consolidating in 98 days. Well, after that, shortly after that, Gaussian channel flipped green on a weekly chart. In a previous cycle, we've basically had 147 days, and now we are sitting at 175 days. So this is the longest consolidation after halving, and sooner or later, we could expect that pump for BTC. Heck, let's see. This chart is basically showing that market participants are in fear, and altcoins are at the levels like 2020 and 2023. Back then, it was the absolute bottom for altcoins. Retail are in full bear mode. Be greedy when others are fearful. Ladies and gents, exactly, that's how it works, right? Because the retail, that part of retail is going to come, and they're going to be buying green bullish engulfing candles like crazy. But I do believe that this is going to be the time to sell. Ladies and gents, thank you very much, and I wish you have a great day. Peace and love, crypto.